What's going on?
Well, the guard is saying that the lights were not on last night. So it's not the lights. There's nothing plugged in, so I think our battery's done. So now we're off to go get a new battery. But first we gotta jump. So once again, we're at the port of Bateau, headed towards Bohol Island. We've taken countless PCR tests, and all negative, of course. Spent probably $1,000, 40,000 pesos on this process. And I won't tell you what the technician at the hospital said about the situation, but a guy here at the Coast Guard office, when I told him how much we spent on testing and on this whole process, he said, option. So they know that this is big money. Anyway, I'm not going to get too excited yet until we get our paper stamped for acceptance to the island of Bohol. And what do you have, babe?
The result of
Let's see. So here's more PCR tests. Anyway, just waiting in line to get the Coast Guard to stamp our papers. This is all reminiscent of something historical. Can't quite recall, but anyway. And then after we get our paper stamped, we can buy tickets for the ferry. We already have our places reserved for both us and the moving truck with our earthly belongings in it. No ferry out there yet. So here's the moving truck. We reduced as much as possible the stuff we're bringing here. And I'll let these guys talk on video later. They've stuck with us through thick and thin, and it's been a lot more thick than thin. So if anybody's moving or needs to move stuff in the Philippines, these are the guys. They'll stick with you and they'll finish the job. There, of course, is Pajero this far. I just need to grab my registration for the boat. 1,300 kilometers and about 40,000 pesos, or almost $1,000 for that stamp right there. That's the most expensive stamp I've ever paid for. Yeah. Double stamp by the Coast Guard. Looks like we're loading onto the boat soon. So, anything else?
thank you for watching.
Ate na! Ba't ginagawa na eh? Naiinis na ako. Nilagayin mo.
Let us by the security gate, so we're going to the ferry. Now let's see if they let us on the ferry. Let's see if the ferry floats across the water to the island. Let's see if they let us off the ferry. Let's see if they don't quarantine us when we get there. Scam after scam after scam. Or do we need a QR code to get on the boat now? New motorcycle. We're in line to get on the ferry. What do you think about that? Yeah. 7 days of Mad Max driving, wild goose chases for PCR tests, QR codes to pass by several checkpoints. What else? Lots of hotels. What else? Breakdown. Well, not break. We actually didn't have a breakdown. The battery died in our hotel parking lot, so fixed that right in the parking lot. That was nice. And then the oil pressure. Pajero. Follow?
follow.
Follow that? Sige po.
Ma'am, ano tong karga nyo, ma'am?
Kuchon.
Futon.
Sige, sige.
Cocaine. We don't need more trouble, do we? Yeah, he caught it. He caught it before it landed. Yeah, I made a reference to the Pajero being the Ark, and I literally did build it for this trip, and I can't tell you how absolutely thrilled I am right now. We're at the last ferry to Bohol, and she made it without a single breakdown. So it was a bit hairy for the 1,200 kilometers with a red oil pressure light on, but there was nothing I could do about it. So we just had to keep going. I put some oil additives to make the oil thicker, some anti-friction products, stuff like that, just in case, and hoped and prayed for the best, and turned out it was just the oil pressure switch. So we ended up changing that and put in a new battery at the hotel. Did both of those things at the hotel actually, so ended up going with this one. And there's our bright shiny new oil pressure switch, oil pressure sensor, and yeah, happy as a clam. Well, I should mention that another issue I was concerned about is these coolant hoses going to the heater core are actually for a V6. And what I did is I cut them close to the center and then spliced in with some stainless tubing, and then welded beads on each end of the stainless tube so they won't slip off, because I could not find a silicone set for the 2.8 liter 4M40 in the Philippines, and shipping anything would have cost like $200. So I just bought a V6 set. And knowing that I already had this temperature sensor there, I knew that one would be okay. I did reach 112 degrees Celsius at some points, going up hills in the midday heat. And again, no choice but to keep going, and nothing popped. Did I just bump our truck? Pajero on the ferry and the truck on the same boat. New motorcycle. That looks like the type you want on an island. That's a little bit bigger than a 4M40. Yeah, but why is there a left engine and a right engine? Why? Oh, there's three. So what is this one for? Back up? And that one? That's the driving? They drive together? This one and this one together? I see. It's a V12, yeah? V12? 12 cylinder. 6 and 6, yeah? 12. Wow, and two big turbos. That's pretty cool. You know how many liter is this?
42 liters.
42 liter. Ah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So if these die, back up. And what size is this? 18? Yeah. Remember how big? Ooh, look at that. So, truck keys are safely locked inside the truck. Tomorrow is the start of a new extreme lockdown. The doctor told me because, not because of more death, because of more cases. So So because of more cases, they're going to lock down, I think, most of the Philippines again. That may only be Luzon and Leyte area, Visaya area, but I think it's all the Philippines. So today was basically, could very well have been our last day to get to our house. One more issue, could have been stuck there on Leyte and had to just find an apartment or something. Arriving in Bohol Island. Gotta find where our house is. We don't have an address. So cool. Morning joy. Well, I've got lots of joy for arriving in Bohol right now. Now the next game is to find the house. We only know the barangay, which is kind of like neighborhood, but we don't have an address. So for now, we're trying to find the seller who sold us the house and have him lead us out to it. Actually, I'm kind of glad in a way it doesn't have an address. Maybe I'll leave it that way. All right, let's unload. Pearl Dragon in Bohol. Gotta wash that Covades off of the cars. Well, you get a free car wash anyway. Of course, it's not free when you pay 30,000 pesos in PCR testing, but anyway. So we can call this a $1,000 car wash.